What if I told you your body already knows how to heal, but modern medicine is getting in the way? There's a rhythm to everything in life: growth, decay, healing. And when that rhythm is disrupted, pain shows up, inflammation shows up, chronic disease shows up. But here's the part most people never hear. The body already knows how to fix it. There's a compound your body recognizes instantly. It's not a drug and it's not a painkiller, but a biological signal, one that tells injured tissue to repair itself faster, calmer, and more completely. And most people don't even know it exists. In this episode, we're going to explore a peptide called BPC-157, a signal molecule that's changing how people recover from injuries, heal the gut, and reduce chronic inflammation by working with the body instead of overriding it. We live in a world where chronic pain, gut dysfunction, anxiety, and inflammation are treated like lifelong conditions, managed, medicated, and monetized instead of solved. But the human body wasn't designed to be dependent. It was designed to heal. So if our bodies already know how to heal, why have we forgotten how to listen? This is why the Vital Circuit channel was created, to explore modalities that facilitate real healing. And this incredible peptide, BPC-157, is showing clear signs that it can play a powerful role in this endeavor. I'm Steve Ordauer, father, educator, journalist, and producer of independent media. And I've had enough experience with our healthcare system in the U.S. to know it's not designed to promote true health and wellness, but rather to prioritize profits over the needs of its citizens. This is why a lot of the health modalities we cover here on the Vital Circuit YouTube channel are not covered by health insurance. And this is unfortunately by design, because if people were to become healthy and thrive, well, that's bad for business. This is why I use the term medical mafia to describe the healthcare industry in this country. The goal is dependency, not real health. When I personally experienced a debilitating issue with my back, my research became very, very intense out of my commitment as a father, and I quickly realized that the mainstream healthcare system, or more accurately, the sick care system, did not have solutions for me. So I expanded my perspective and have not looked back. This system, working in conjunction with the food industry, has led to the brazenly obvious health crisis we see today. The statistics are alarming, to say the least. 42% of adults in the U.S. are considered obese. Roughly 1 in 10 Americans are living with type 2 diabetes. 1 in 5 adults suffer from a mental health condition, and nearly 6 in 10 adults are dealing with at least one chronic condition, highlighting the broad prevalence of long-term health issues. Let that marinate for a little bit. And in 1965, the rate of autism was quite rare in children, around 1 in 10,000. Today, it's roughly 1 in 36. And this is just scratching the surface. We've reached a point where it's not just about treating illness, it's about reclaiming vitality. Our food supply, our stress levels, even our sleep cycles are misaligned with the rhythm our biology was designed for. Modern life keeps us running, but not necessarily thriving. And that's why on the Vital Circuit YouTube channel and the Rhythm of Life podcast, we explore the science and stories behind true healing, from red light therapy and stem cell therapies to peptides like BPC-157, a remarkable compound that's quietly transforming how people recover, rebuild, and restore balance. We live in an age where information is abundant, but wisdom is scarce. We're surrounded by solutions, but often mask symptoms instead of addressing causes. And beneath the noise of pharmaceutical marketing, and boy is there a lot, and quick fix culture, people are yearning for something deeper, a way to reconnect with the body's innate intelligence. This is the bridge between science and nature, and that's where BPC-157 comes in. BPC-157 stands for Body Protection Compound 157. It's a peptide, a short chain of amino acids originally discovered in human gastric juices. What's incredible is that this tiny molecule has been shown in both animal and human studies to accelerate the body's natural healing process, from torn ligaments to leaky gut, from inflamed tendons to neurological damage. BPC-157 seems to work on a fundamental level by signaling the body to repair itself faster and more completely. It's almost poetic when you think about it. A healing molecule that originates from the stomach, the very place where nourishment begins. The body in its own intelligence carries the blueprint for its own repair. To understand how BPC-157 works, imagine a conductor in a symphony doing his or her thing, coordinating a lot of musicians and instruments, all to create harmony. That's what this peptide does with your tissues. When cells are damaged, they release distress signals. BPC-157 responds to those signals, amplifying growth factors and accelerating regeneration. It's like turning up the volume on your body's natural healing song, one that's always been playing, but too quietly to hear over the noise of inflammation and stress. And the science keeps expanding. Researchers have found that BPC-157 interacts with the nitric oxide pathways, helping improve blood flow to injured tissue. It may even influence serotonin and dopamine levels, potentially impacting mood, motivation, and overall brain function. It's as if this peptide whispers to you and to your body, "You remember how to heal. Let me remind you." Just to be clear, this is not medical advice, but simply information that may be helpful with the decision-making process. Early studies also suggest neuroprotective benefits, meaning it may protect brain cells from oxidative damage and stress. Some reports indicate improved recovery from concussions or traumatic brain injuries in animal models. While research in humans is still emerging, the data is compelling enough that many physicians in regenerative medicine are watching very closely, seeing BPC-157 as a part of a larger movement towards self-directed biological repair. The deeper we explore peptides like BPC-157, the more we realize the body doesn't need to be forced to heal. It just needs the right signal, the right environment, and a little help remembering its own intelligence. Think of your body as a construction site. When damage happens, your cells are like workers rushing to the scene. But if communication breaks down or your resources run low, healing stalls. That's where BPC-157 steps in. It promotes angiogenesis, the growth of new blood vessels, delivering oxygen and nutrients to damaged tissue. It increases collagen synthesis, essential for repairing skin, joints, muscles, and tendons. And it helps regulate inflammatory cytokines, reducing chronic inflammation that leads to pain and disease. Inside the gut, BPC-157 helps seal the intestinal barrier, reducing what's known as leaky gut syndrome. That alone can have a ripple effect through the entire body, lowering systemic inflammation, improving mood, and even enhancing cognitive clarity. When you understand that the gut is often called the second brain, it makes sense that repairing it can change everything: your energy, your focus, even your outlook on life. In short, it's not a quick fix. So just to be clear, it's a rebalancer, a signal that tells your body, let's get back in rhythm. Healing doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it's subtle: better sleep, calmer digestion, faster recovery after exercise. Other times it can be profound: old injuries softening, inflammation disappearing, clarity returning. It's these quiet victories that redefine what health can feel like. But here's something critical to understand. Not all BPC-157 is created equal. Most of what's sold online is not pharmaceutical grade. It's often made overseas in unregulated labs with zero oversight and purity verification. When you inject or ingest a peptide that's not properly manufactured, you're taking a real risk, not just with your health, but with your trust in science itself. That's why companies like Ways to Well really stand out. They've built their entire model around integrity, safety, and quality. Every peptide they distribute is compounded in the United States through FDA-regulated facilities, tested for purity, sterility, and potency. And that makes all the difference, because when you're working with compounds that affect your biology this deeply, you want to know exactly what's going into your body. It's the difference between cutting corners and cutting edge. And beyond just purity, it's really about accountability. True health innovation demands transparency. It's not enough to have results. You need trust. In this growing field of peptides, the conversation is shifting toward education and responsibility, because what we put in our bodies shapes not only our health, but our trust and our faith in science itself. Across the country, people are using BPC-157 to recover faster from surgeries, repair tendon injuries, soothe chronic inflammation, and even reverse gut issues that have plagued them for years. These aren't miracle stories. They're just examples of what happens when we give the body the tools it needs to heal itself. There's a story of a marathon runner who tore his Achilles and was told recovery would take a year. But with consistent therapy and BPC-157, he was jogging within months. Or the mom who suffered from digestive pain for a decade, finally finding relief not through elimination diets, but through repairing her gut lining. When people experience that kind of healing, it changes their relationship fundamentally with their own health. They realize that healing doesn't have to come from a pill bottle. It can come from within. There's also the story of a musician who lost dexterity in his hands after nerve inflammation. With guidance from his practitioner, he began a peptide protocol and saw strength return over time. Not instantly, but consistently. These moments remind us that health isn't a destination. It's a rhythm you can learn to dance with again. Our main goal here on the Vital Circuit YouTube channel and the Rhythm of Life podcast is to educate, to help you understand that your body is intelligent, that it's capable of profound healing when supported the right way. BPC-157 is just one example of how science is beginning to align with nature instead of trying to outsmart it. And as more people rediscover this rhythm, the future of health looks less like a pharmacy and more like a return to balance. Thanks so much for joining me. Once again, my name's Steve Ordauer, and if you'd like to learn more about the science behind peptides and functional health, check out more of our offerings on the Vital Circuit YouTube channel, as well as our conversations on the Rhythm of Life podcast, because healing starts when you listen to your body's rhythm. Peace.